Okay, let's talk about charisma and how attractive it is. Okay, I was just talking with this guy, and he was just honest, honest, but that charisma that makes you feel good, like the other person feel good, and it's really the charisma's not about you; it's about the other person and how you make them feel. Is I think why he was so good at like being magnetic, at capturing people's attention because he was honest about what he sees. Like, oh, but he was not. It's not a way like you think of like corporate ones, like when they say things just to be nice or just to put appearances. But it was that honesty that actually seemed sincere, and I feel like a part of being like magnetic, a part of like attracting people to you is kind of being honest. And there's ways you can do it, not being so eager to please, not being so eager to like appease someone or try to fit their mold or idea of who they think you are, but actually taking pause, actually thinking about the answer that you're going to give that person, and that pause before answering really kind of brings back to the idea of like trust and honesty, and what I find so attractive in people that just think before speaking. Just take a moment to reflect before they put their words out there, and really look in you in the eyes when you say it, when they say it, like eye contact. We're going to talk about eye contact again because how important eye contact is, and really slowing down. Slowing down your speech. I have a horrible habit of being so hyper. So I feel like when we feel intimidated, at least for us women, we kind of like higher octave, like we kind of like get squeaky, like huh. I feel like for guys it's the opposite. They try to go low. They're like, oh. It's so funny to see because I feel like there's some sort of evolution thing about this, but when you actually slow down your speech and look someone in the eye, like I did this before. Okay, I was at Lululemon. Okay, one time I was grabbing some pair of my Define jacket because like I got influenced and like it really does make you snatched. And I was doing Pilates at the time, so you best believe I was in the Lululemon Aloe kind of club. Like it's hard not to when you're in that environment. It seems almost performative when you're in like Sweat and Tonic or when you're in like a Pilates class and you see all those sets, those cute ass sets. Love that. But I was at Lululemon that time and I was like particularly tired and I just wanted to see like what would happen if I just like slow down my voice, look the person in the eye. Mind you, the cashier was like a dude. I just slowed my voice, looked them in the eye, and like took some time to like actually think, do I want a bag? And you know what? Like I saw his hand like visibly shaking, like, and his eyes dart, and I'm like, don't be mean, but like, I just there is something about slowing down your speech, looking someone in the eye, and just taking a moment to pause and actually think about what you're gonna say. That's really almost seductive, almost attractive in a sense, because I don't know, I feel like it's kind of the same idea of like playing hard to get or not making yourself available when you kind of slow down and when you have things that outside of a relationship or outside of the talking of another person with another person, you seem to be a person of intrigue, a person of mystery. And people do love mysteries when we have all these things that come to us easily, come to us in excess, and it's just instant gratification left and right. It's nice to see when people make themselves like unavailable and when people make themselves like not as accessible. Take for example like people who don't have social media. that is hell of attractive, especially for a guy, because especially the younger generations, like when they first meet you, can I get your Instagram, can I get your Snapchat? Like, of course, like your Instagram is kind of like a resume. It's kind of like your personality. It's kind of like your branding to the world. Especially like in dating profiles, it's the same thing. But it just adds another level of inaccessibility when you just don't have that and can only be accessed by phone call and like by in person. It's just you're enigma. You're in a world of accessibility, you're just inaccessible, and it's just intriguing to see like that, especially in a guy, especially when a guy just asks for your phone number and not on Instagram. Attractive. You already have it, because I don't know, it's just it's not old fashioned. It shouldn't be old fashioned, but it's like it shows some sort of maturity and some sort of like, in a sense. At the same time, though, like you best be careful who you give your number to, because if you don't, then you might be giving someone who is cray cray and like may leak your phone number. And not like that happened to me before, knock on wood, but it has happened, I'm sure, if like a breakup goes bad. But anyways, charisma. Let's talk about charisma again. So, like what I've seen, like from observing people, at least for women, is that you just need to be. What really is magnetic, what it really is attractive, is when people are so excited about things, or so like enamored by things, and like live life in the present, live life in the moment, is aware of their surroundings, lives life like rose-colored glasses. Like I I never do this, but like I was eating by myself, doing some work, eating by myself at this restaurant, and I don't know what came over me, but I was just like, oh my goodness, this is super delicious. Da 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 da. So I went up to the counter and I told them like wholeheartedly, with like the brightest eyes and like the happiest expression. I don't know what came over me that day because I was in a good mood, but I just expressed to them like honestly, like, oh my goodness, this is the best banh mi I've ever tried. Like compliments to the chef, and like you can see like how bright their eyes have gotten like with that compliment, and how like there's this dude like kept on sneaking looks at me, because I think when you're honest and when you live life like you're actually enjoying it, like it's hard not to feel attracted to those people who are living life in the present, who are living life to the fullest, who are living life in the brighter side of things. Not always downer, not always a downer. Who wants to be with someone who's like depressed? Or like, no, not okay, I would say like, who wants to be with someone around that's always complaining, always saying like problems, this and that, which is good. Like, like good intellectual talks are great about the problems with this world, but there are times when he just like needs someone like to remind you of how great life can be. And I think those people who are like magnetic, who can have like a sense of charisma and are honest and are like, people get attracted to those people and follow those people. That's why like leaders, like a lot of them have a lot of charisma. They make the other person feel good, feel welcome, feel secure, and feel trusted. And really, I feel as though if you want to be charismatic, if you want to attract people to you, it really isn't about you. It's about how you make the other person feel. And the way you do that is by making it seem like you're vulnerable, that you're not a threat, like you can be trusted, that you can guide, or in some sense as a leader. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, We all need to slow down a bit more. We all need to enjoy a life a little bit more. Look at it in the bright side, and especially in harder times. Harder side than that, but that's just my belief from what I've seen. Like, those charismatic people, like, it's not about looks, it's just about charisma. It's about, yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, charisma. Okay, that's it for me today. You have a good day.